People, I'm about to sit down with the coolest kid out. Word to Chuck English. I'm sitting down with none other than Sir Michael Rocks, one half of the cool kids and a pioneer in the rap game. This dude has been killing it for years, and now that the cool kids are back outside, they just dropped their most recent album, Hot Top Fade, at the end of last year. And today, they just brought back an absolute classic from the blog ever mixtape game. So we're gonna jump in. I see Mike is already here. So let's go ahead and set it off, baby. I'm going to send him an invite, and then we'll get this thing started. Honestly, if you were here a second ago, you know the internet is crazy. Locked in.
Yo, all right, we back, man.
The Matrix is wild, bro.
I couldn't even tell you what just happened. I don't know, man. The phone fell down, and then it was all bad from there.
It's all good. We got the first question in. Basically, you were just saying how Black Mags was created, how originally it was supposed to be like a Boldy beat. You skipped class, you didn't go to math class, but you ended up counting up because of that song, so it all came full circle.
Hey.
But so I wanted to ask you, because you've been associated with around so many legendary people in the industry and entertainment period. Is there anyone that you met that really lived up to your expectations when you met them? And is there anybody that you met that surprised you when you met them?
All right, so we'll start with the lived up to. Immediately, right off the bat, it's a tie between Manny Fresh and Bun B, bro.
Ooh.
Just two of the best unks that you could ever imagine in your life, bro. Everything you thinking is true, bro. Like, we at Manny Fresh House in Houston, recording, for the album that we about to drop this summertime. We recording that. Bro literally got like 3 grills out back going at the same time. 3 grills going in the backyard. He got a gazebo with a fan and an air conditioner in there with the TV. Watching the game. It's lit, bro. And just one of the nicest and coolest, most genuine people that you ever gonna meet, bro. Like, seriously, bro. Like, I was also very surprised, as well, man, because that was the first time we met in person. We had talked over, DMs, emails, whatever, for a while, but when we finally got to meet up in person, man, just one of the best dudes that I've fucking met. Really, really, really nice and really accommodating. Takes care of his people, takes care of his guests, man, and really just want to see everybody win, man. Had a lot of gems for us, as well as Bun B, who is his neighbor, who
crazy.
I've known Bun for, years now, obviously, but, seeing them click up together and be like grown man neighbors in Houston is some of the best shit that I ever seen, dog. Like, I wish I lived out here with y'all, man. Like, y'all I asked him, I was like, y'all just be like hanging out and kicking it in the backyard and shit sometimes. He's like, yeah, man, it's my homie, man. I just pull up some. I'm like, God damn, bro, that's fire. But yeah, obviously y'all all know Bun. Everybody love Bun, man. That's just one of the best humans that, has graced the rap industry ever, bro. Again, just a super loving dude that hold his people down and wants to see people win, and got real good in his heart, man. So them definitely two of my favorite people that I've met so far.
Okay, fire. Okay,
a surprising one too, though, right?
Yeah, who surprised you? Go ahead.
Surprising, man. Man, I would have to say surprising would have to be Mac, man. Mac Miller.
Yeah.
That was one of the most surprising people that I've met, because when we did meet, he was already well, established and on his way up even further and up even higher. And in rap, in the industry, and in our like inner workings as like the employees of the rap industry, like we got certain hierarchies and certain ways of like maneuvering and dealing with each other, right? And Mac kind of like broke all of those rules very early in the way that he was bigger than a lot of people, but if he liked you and respected you, he didn't treat your relationship that way. He was willing to like really be friends with people that he really fucked with and people that, he could tell fucked with him, man. And that was surprising because I had been in the industry for some years at that point already, and I was just used to like, how people move, it's like, I'm bigger than you, then you can't, I ain't got nothing for you. I can't help you. I don't want to talk. I don't want to, have fun. I don't want to collab unless you're paying me a bunch of money or doing something crazy. It's
Right.
like with Mac, he was bigger than everybody, but he is still fuck with you. He'll record a whole mixtape with you if you was his guy and if you was cool.
Crazy.
Like, and not that it was just about like exchanging things. It's just the fact that he didn't have that ego that he could have had, and well within his rights he could have had that ego, but he never did, man. And that was super surprising to me, man, to be such a cool and down to earth dude when he didn't have to be, and when people didn't expect him to be, man. So that was surprising, man. And he ended up being, one of the best friends that I ever made as a musician, and I still haven't met a friend like him yet, after all the years that he's been gone, man. So that was a very big surprise for me when we first met.
That's super tight. That was a great answer. Love that a lot. I've seen you talk before about how there are or slash, were a lot of different internets, man. Like when y'all came up, it was kind of internet, 1.0 or 2.0, depending on how you look at it. But can you talk about what the internet was like when your career started popping off and what it's like as an artist now in the world of the internet?
Man, the internet in my earliest days was like, I would say, the MySpace era. Obviously internet was out before that with AOL and stuff, but I'm talking about like when we were actually starting to like put out music and try to become musicians. It was the MySpace era is where it all kind of started.
Right.
And that internet was only on your computer. Basically, that's when the internet was at home and only on your computer. You couldn't go
Right.
outside and be on the internet no more. You got to go home to be on the internet. And
Hmm.
that was, I think, that was a bridge from the early days into the social media days that we're at now.
Yeah.
And during those times, it was kind of cool to be able to like turn it off sometimes, and like go live life and then come back and then you got a bunch of messages on your MySpace and a bunch of
Miss
new
those
comments.
days.
You know what I'm saying? And you get to catch up and then you can turn it off again and go live life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was the routine back then. And we were luckily able enough to start catching some steam on MySpace and Facebook and all that stuff at the times, because we were, just starting to put out music, and algorithms and timelines hadn't been purchased and commodified yet,
Yeah.
so the timeline just showed you things that were posted as they were posted, and then you can look at them and react and talk to people and shit,
Good old days.
the good old days, before the algorithms and timelines and stuff. So people would just gravitate towards whatever made them happy or whatever caught their attention. People would gravitate towards that. So our music was just naturally pulling in people that fucked with that type of stuff. And we were able to grab a huge fan base early on just from putting up music on MySpace,
I mean, huge. You guys had like
Yeah,
5 million on
it was
MySpace,
great.
like
I
big.
tell people I be telling my managers and stuff, man, I'm like, oh my God, like, bro, you don't even understand how many followers we had. Because nowadays, like, we'll try to like do things with like different corporations or partner up with different brands and stuff, and they check your followers and they're like, oh
Yeah,
no, I need 100. You gotta have 100K or it can't really do this. Like, we need 100,000 followers, and you need 5 million followers and all that so we can collaborate with you. But I just be looking at them and thinking in my head like, bro, you don't even understand how many
right. Just add the
fucking
MySpace
followers
followers. Like we
how
would be
many
Gucci.
followers I had. But that's back also when a social media platform could die. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like MySpace died. It
yeah.
died.
It's
So
no
everything
more.
on there, you just lost that shit. The social media platforms that we have now, they will never die. Facebook,
Yeah,
never gonna die. Twitter, never gonna die. Instagram, never gonna die. The big three, essentially, I guess what they are. TikTok, probably never gonna
TikTok.
die.
Yeah,
We're past that age of social platforms dying. What they do now is, if something new is coming up and it's good and it's threatening them, they just buy it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's like Facebook bought Instagram.
yeah. It
So if
gets
something is,
integrated into whatever
yeah,
system
they
they
just
already got.
yeah, they just buy it and then it becomes a part of them. So no, these big social media platforms are never going to die again unless something extremely crazy happens. Then they die. But if nothing beyond a nuke bomb drops, they're not dying. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
they're gonna buy whoever is their competition, pretty much. So I would say that's another that's another feature of today's internet versus the old internet is they gotten to the point of being trillion-dollar entities now, and they used to just be like, cute little Silicon Valley, websites,
little startup.
Little startups, some nerds cooked up, and it's cool, and a couple members on there, and send some messages, and it's fun time. But now these are like world-shifting applications that control like global finance and global enterprise and shit now. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's the main difference between the internet of then and the internet now. Is like the internet of then was, ideas and people creating things and connecting and being intertwined with other people. It grew into what we have now, which is like these are world controlling applications and companies now. This is beyond social media and likes and you hollering at a girl on Facebook or something, or posting your song on SoundCloud. Like this is way
completely new world.
These are like governments now at this point. Like, you feel me? So I think that's the main thing that that's separating the old internet from the new is just the commodification of, is that the word? The commodification of it all. Like now they're just monopolizing. Just a couple people own the entirety of the internet now. Back when it was first kind of kicking off, it was the Wild Wild West, and like everybody had a little piece. Like we was doing HTML on MySpace, coding our own pages, and everybody had their own website pretty much. So I think that we just see the difference between then and now, man. It's just like
night and day.
Yeah, man. I look at the internet now as like a highway, right? And then it's just a bunch of like shit going by, a bunch of cars going by at different speeds, and like you could jump in there and get hit by a car and get killed, or you could stay back and watch and try to wait for your time to jump into the into the highway. But it's harder to get that attention now because things are way more saturated, way more overpopulated, and that just comes with time. But I feel like we're hitting a point on this internet where it's almost time for a new one again. You know what I mean?
So. Because like we're right there where it feels like the old stuff is over. Like people are starting to change their habits on the internet. And like you said, the internet is like a small country unto itself. Like there are governments controlling half of it. So it's different now. But you touched on something that I want to jump into because you said you could kind of sit back and wait for your time to get in. And I feel like right now is a great time for the cool kids to come back. You guys just re-released Gone Fishing today. So now it's out. I know people have been begging you for it because that is a classic. Like I probably know that entire mixtape front to back, just speaking for myself personally.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. So how did the reissue come about? Like when did you start the conversation with Don Cannon and Chuck? And what's the response been like? Because it just dropped today. So what are you hearing people saying about it coming back out?
Yeah, man. The response has been great so far, man. People really miss that time period. People really miss that feeling. They really miss those memories, man. And to be a part of that was always, I'm always super grateful to have been a part of that era and created something that has stood the test of time like this. So to see people like all these years later, like excited about some shit that came out, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, is like, that's kind of mind blowing to me, man. And I'm kind of like looking at how far I've come now at this point, because I think that that's a big privilege to be able to have old stuff that already came out and have people get excited about it again, like it's something new, and to have people transport back to that feeling and back to that time again is, I feel like that's special, man. I feel like I've always been a kind of a cynical person when it comes to like my own position in music and rap and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, this and that, man. Like, you gotta have the hits, you gotta have the, the plaques and all this shit. And I'm starting to realize now, like, oh damn, we kind of pushing into a legendary territory here.
Facts.
Strictly off of the culture too, because it's not based on billboards and plaques and platinum records and shit, but it's just based on a lot of the impact that we had and the feelings that we gave people. And I'm really surprised and happy by that. You know, I'm happy about that because
Mm.
it's something that I couldn't have tried to do. You can't try to land into a legendary status. You can't try to land into a, you know, can't try to land into like a GOAT position or
Right.
like you know, a permanent fixture. You can't land into those positions by trying. You can
Yeah.
only naturally end up there. And I just look back on times when I would, you know, be upset because I'm like, man, I want to do this or that, but like we got integrity to uphold. You know what I mean? We got to uphold this integrity because this is going to be our legacy. We got to protect
Mm.
our legacy, protect our legacy. And there's times, you know, in the past when there would be things that'd be an easy opportunity to make some money or get some clout or get some, you know, get some pub that might have tainted the integrity of the brand or tainted the legacy a little bit.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that we looked at that stuff and decided not to, you know, because those type of decisions would have, you know, probably shifted us out of this conversation and put us somewhere else. And the fact that we were willing to protect our legacy is starting to really pay off now because now it's cemented and it's recorded, it's documented. There's video, there's books, there's records. Like it's not just a theory no more, you know, it's
Right.
cemented now. And I'm glad that we did decide to protect our integrity and protect our legacy, man, because this shit is about to take us, you know, for the rest of our lives now at this point,
For
man.
sure.
I'm starting to see like the cycles as well of like dropping music and the cycles of like growing up with your fans and growing up
Mm.
with your listeners. I see too, like I've met a couple fans, you know, in different parts of their lives, bro. Like
Mm.
there's been fans that, you know, have come to like our first shows in 2008, 9 that pulled up to the last tour that we just did, you
It's
know, in
crazy.
2025. They got kids and shit now. This one dude brought his kid to the show with a black mag rim,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? And
yo,
told us like, yo, he's like 10 or 11, like he's 10 or something, and
yeah,
you know every word to every single song. He brought this black mag so y'all could sign it for him. This is his shit. Like I didn't force him to do this. I didn't give him this. He wanted to go get this on his own. He went and got the black mag so y'all could sign
wow,
it. Like,
yo,
and
what?
we just able to like see these generations of people that have grown with us, man. And I didn't really think about that when we were first starting. I didn't really know that you can, you know, make those type of connections this young in your life. I thought I would have had to have been like, you know, real OG status to have
Right.
people really relate to me like that, you know. But the fact that we kind of started young and we've been in it for a minute has given us those years and given us those, you know, that time to connect with people, and people have grown up with us too, you know. And I'm just really grateful that we're able to see those generations grow up with us while we're still growing up with this shit too.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. Honestly, it's one of those things, like you said, you can't just will yourself into being a legend. You kind of just have to live it, walk the walk, talk the talk, and then eventually over time, people recognize the real, because I think that's something where, it takes time to achieve the status that you've achieved in the game, and it takes time also for the wider world to appreciate, the people who are quote unquote underappreciated, in their era, in their time. One thing that I always thought that you were really underappreciated in terms of interacting with the fans and kind of seeing the game for what it is that you were really kind of early on, like vlogging, streaming, like talking to the people that connect with you about things outside of rap. And I'm curious, why was that so important to you? Like, what did you see in that early on that you felt like I need to jump on this? Because it wasn't, cool at the time, but it has become the dominant thing in this internet.
Didn't it, man? It became dominant as hell, man. It's nothing but streamers and streaming now, man. But like I've always loved that instant connection and that live connection with
Mhm.
people, and I've always had a talent for that and been able to chop it up and deliver my message and, you know, share my thoughts without having to have a intermediary in between, or you know,
A
some kind of
label
barrier,
or
yeah,
whatever.
label or a manager or a rep or whatever in the middle of that. I've always been able to like, you know, express myself how I see myself pretty well. So I
Mhm.
was very excited to see when streaming started to take off. And I also just always knew about myself that I had a lot more I had a lot more interest and things that really interested in, and things that I also give my time to that are outside of songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like streaming and those direct connections just like this are way easier ways to convey that stuff and to share that stuff, because you can have a conversation. It's live, man, and you're able to get into the details of things. You're able to you know pause and think about it and have different changes of heart about things. And that's why I always like the live medium, because it was I feel like it was the most honest. It was the most honest, and
It is.
I didn't have to record and rehearse and write a bunch of script and all that beforehand and memorize the script and then go on. I always was like, yo, just turn the camera on and let's chop it up and let's keep it a buck, let's keep it real. And I've honestly seen that's probably something that attracts a lot of people to me, is when I'm able to just kind of be real and talk like this and be able to, hold these type of conversations, and we can go off the rails and talk about, we could talk about the mezcal, we could talk about some video games, we could talk about some food, we could talk about clothes. Like, I'm into a lot of wild shit, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
It all helps with music.
That was actually my next question. So I wanted to ask you, like, so what are some of the things that you're just deeply interested in outside of rap? Because you talk about it like all the time in your raps, but I'm curious, like, so what's your jam?
Look, this is my new thing I'm about to show you. Hold on, this is my new.
All right, let's go. Mike has the mezcal in his glass right now. For those that didn't know, I'm about to join him. I'm about to pour some of this.
Oh yeah, I know you got some good 40-year age bourbon or something over
Just
there,
a little
man.
whiskey,
You be having that good shit, man.
So what you got over there?
So this is my new shit right here, y'all.
Okay.
Ikebana, right? So this is the Japanese art of, like, you cutting up different plants and flowers and shit, and you want them to live for a little bit, right? So it's almost like bonsai, but it's like just another form of, like, just expressing yourself with, like, with plants and shit.
That's
And
fire.
I just always liked how, with the Ikebana, you're able to take like a live plant, put it somewhere else with some other plants. You gotta make sure that you can, have the right water, levels and all of that, and make sure that it can survive. And they survive for a minute, and they make these really cool, like, artworks almost that you can only get from the plants being alive, man. I'm into, like, bonsai and stuff like that too. I like kind of manipulating nature in those kind of ways, and, like,
That's fire.
taking the outside and bringing it into, like, my house and my room. Like, I've always liked, landscaping in that way. I've always liked terrariums and, plantscapes and all that cool shit, man. I've always liked to just bring the outside into the house, so that's been something that I've been really into for the past couple months.
Okay.
Been reading up on it a lot, and I got a dude out here that I'm about to start working with on some of this shit. So I'm gonna have something to show in a minute, man, and hopefully might start a little company off of that or something,
Let's go. I want to see it.
Might see me on Home and Garden or something pretty soon. You know what I mean? I might be on HGTV or some shit.
That'd be crazy. I had to ask because, like I said, I know that you have so many interests that range outside of rap. You got the mezcal, the wine, anime, the whole nine, like video games. One thing that is really connected to rap, and I think it's connected to the image that you created within the rap world, is fashion. You've always been one of those guys that people point to and say he was a trendsetter. He was ahead of the curve. He was a fashionable dude. So, having that influence in the rap game and inspiring people to dress well. I'm curious, who inspired your style growing up, and who would you say is fresh now?
Man, growing up, I was really inspired by a few people. One, my older sister. My older sister is 4 years older than me, but especially growing up in, Chicago in the 90s like that, she always had that shit, man. She had that shit and put it on, man. She always had, like, I would steal some of her shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna steal your sister's shit? But like
That
she
means she
had that
fly.
shit though, man. Like I'm talking like the Averex
Let's
leathers,
go.
all the good Jordans, of course,
Of
Air Max
course.
95, Air Max 97s, 90s, all that shit. Like Iceberg, Coogee, all the
Ooh,
like
classics.
she really had it on. And I by proxy also was growing up having that shit on too,
Right.
So I would, want to go shopping and look and see what she got, and be like, all right, mom, we're going. I want to get this, and that. You know what I mean? And I would put together that shit, man, and I would just see how like all the boys in the neighborhood would react to her, and like how they would react to like the stuff she would have on and all that, and it was just like it was obvious. I was like, oh, we a fresh ass family. I see. Okay, let me make sure that I carry on the legacy the right way, man.
Right.
So definitely, my sister would be a big one there.
Okay.
Another one, would have to be, man. There's a type of guy, right? It's a type of dude that's in Chicago around this time, late '90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Um, it's strange, man. I feel like Don C is one of these type of guys, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
one of the type of dudes, like it's dudes that just
That's the
they was
cloth he cut from. Is this type of
yeah,
cloth?
they was
Yeah.
in the city and fresh as hell, and like always had some shit before you could even get it. And these were the times where the internet wasn't really selling clothes like that.
True. Yeah.
So to get cool shit, you had to know somebody in New York or China, or you had to be plugged into some
Right.
crazy shit to like get stuff, man. I had a guy named Andre, one of my homies growing up. His dad, he owned a shoe store and shit. Like they was just balling out of control. I still to this day don't even understand what's going on. They was balling out of control. His dad had a shoe store. This man came with the Iversons, like
The
the
bubble
ones
on the
where
bottom?
the gum bottom, and the one where like the middle had that
Yeah,
like
the zipper.
zip up the middle. Yeah.
Those were crazy.
Yeah, he had them in a wild color real early before motherfuckers even like. I'm like, how you even got these, bro? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, he was getting like samples and shit like early, and it was
Damn.
wild. And there would just be these urban legend type of people in Chicago growing up, at least from my perspective, that
Yeah.
always just had some fresh shit, man, and really just like inspired me. And the way that people out here rocked rocked their gear, it was always very nonchalant. It was
Yeah.
always real like cool and playing the background. Like it was never like loud guy with the loud clothes is just
Yeah.
trying to get all the attention and get everybody to look at him. It was never that. It was always player shit, bro. Like everybody that was super fresh out here, laid back, chilling in the cut. You see him, you see a good watch, you see a good sweater, iceberg or something, good jeans. He hopping out of a nice little Lexus or something, you know what I mean? And that was the setup, man. And I paid attention to all of that shit, man. I was obviously listening to, you know, all the rap in the world at that time.
Right.
Raekwon was a real big inspiration, man. Just one
Of
of the
course.
freshest. Shout out that's my Capricorn OG right there, man. Shout out
Hey.
to Capricorns right there, but always one of the freshest, man. And again, real nonchalant about it, low key played it
True.
to the back, played it smooth. It wasn't about like ostentatious fashion and like obnoxious,
Look at me.
just
Yeah.
look at me culture. Like it was just real player, man. And that's the culture that, shaped my fashion sense pretty much.
That's fire. And who's fresh now? Is there anybody that
Oh,
you see,
fresh now? Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
men or women, whatever, like who you think is like super fresh?
Man, dog. Honestly, my guy Rob Banks, he be putting that shit on, man. I was actually, making some clothes with him for a little bit. We gotta
That's tight.
hop back in it. We was making a lot of shit, but dude, honestly, man, he never have a day off, man. I gotta get to him. Dog I never seen him on a weak ass day, man. Like he always got it on, man. And
That's
he's
fire.
ahead of the curve. He's thinking of shit. He's trying new things. He's putting things together that haven't been together before. And that's what I'm all about when it comes to fashion, man. It's just like, don't just do the mannequin. Don't be the mannequin,
Right.
Show us something personal. Show us your interpretation
You
of it.
gotta wear the clothes, don't let the clothes wear you type of vibe.
Exactly, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
show us what you do with it. Show us your interpretation of it, man. So
Got
I
you.
think that, people that are able to put their own style and put their own spin on these things is it's a sign of taste. It's a sign of culture that you can't buy. You can't
It's
even
true.
learn it. You got to
Yeah.
just have it in you. You know what I mean?
You
So
can't see it on social media and copy it. It got to be you. It's got to come from you.
it's got to come from you, man. Yeah, but yeah, the Rob and Shay from OKC too, man. He
Okay. Oh
yeah,
yeah. Yo, his
yeah,
signature shoe is crazy too. I like that. That's a good
yeah, and
call.
I actually like the silhouette, man. Like
Yeah.
it's hard nowadays to make a cool sneaker, man, because like it's all been done. It's all been
Right.
done, and it's all been overdone too.
Yeah.
Everybody want to
Remixed
make
and
a
pushed
new Jordan 1.
together and
Jordan 1, Jordan 1, Jordan 1. Everybody do a Jordan 1, and everybody's just trying to do the thing again. And he actually came with a cool silhouette that in 2025, 2026, that's tough, man. That's tough to make something look cool like beyond the court, because I feel like a lot of
true.
basketball shoes are just basketball shoes now. They're not
Right.
like fashion shoes like when we were growing up. Like, you know, I think Ant is one of the best players out right now. The Ant shoes though, I'm not wearing those with a fit. You know what I mean? Like it's
Real.
on the
Yeah.
court, some on the court athletic apparel, man. But
Correct.
Ant's one of the greatest hoopers to ever live. But
I mean, it's
like,
like Dom Kennedy said, like don't wear the LeBrons to the club,
I
man.
can't wear no LeBrons. I'm not
You
wearing
know.
LeBrons with a fit. You know what I mean? Like they're good to hoop in, they're good to
Right.
exercise in, and they're like scientifically like specimens. These are like
Cutting edge. Yeah.
cutting edge shoes, man, for athletics, man. But like it's not like the Air Force Ones and the Jordans in the day, man, where you could wear
Facts.
those with a real fit. Like I think
Facts.
that's something that is hard to pull off nowadays. And Shea, he pulled that off with his shoes, so I gotta show respect for that.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely. Okay, so you have had the benefit of being alongside one of the greatest producers, in rap, not even like generational or whatever. Like Chuck is stamped. Everybody knows what he does. He gets busy. But if you were to make a whole project with one producer, who would you want to link up with and work with and get that bad boy out?
Woo! One
Who
of
would you
them,
pick?
just one.
Yeah, just one.
Man. Okay, so let me give you a little preface before I get into
Okay,
that, man. When I think of a producer to do one project, they would have to be well rounded. You know what I mean? They would
okay,
have to be able to give me, some hardship for the bars.
hmm,
They would have to be able to give me some cool shit for the car to ride to. They would have
for
to give
sure.
me some cool shit for the party. You know what I
Okay,
mean? I can't have just a one-dimensional producer that only does one style produce my whole thing because I'm not one-dimensional like that, man.
that's
So
fair. That's
I would
fair.
have to say, man, who could handle that right now? Mm, who can handle that right now? That's tough, man. That's hard because everybody kind of sticking to one style right now.
Also, like I said, you
Let me think
spoiled. Like
too.
working with Chuck,
Yeah,
like he has that versatility,
yeah. I
so I
kind
get
of
it.
spoiled, but there's somebody out here who's got this. Let me see, man.
Mm.
Yeah. If I had to just trade it all in and it was only one producer, I would trust. All right, it's a tie. It's a tie.
All right, all right.
I would trust between. I would trust between Pharrell
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I would go from either Pharrell and I really want to say Swiss. I really want to
Ooh.
say Swiss, but Swiss pissed me off a lot, man. He sometimes he be just doing some shit that he don't need to do, and I'm like, what is going on with this? He'll do a bum, 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 bum,
The
sometimes,
boot bop beats.
and I'm like, bro,
We
stop,
don't
bro.
need the
Like,
boot bop beats this
yeah, I'm like,
time.
I want Rough Riders anthem, bro. Like, give me Rough Riders anthem. Give me Busta Rhymes, touch it, bring it, babe. Like,
Ooh,
give me
ooh,
that shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want those. I don't want no beat the bops and like Swiss to give you a bunch of beats with a bunch of horns and hey
Yeah,
ho hoo
hey,
hey ho.
hey.
I'm like, nope, I don't want that shit, dog. So yeah, man, I had to say between Pharrell and Swiss, I think I could get like a entire project from
Okay,
either.
I like that. I like that. Somebody said Timberland down there. I like that
Timberland,
answer
yeah.
too.
Tim too.
I can
Yeah,
see you with Tim
Tim
style.
too, man. Tim, I just Yeah, he just been in a weird conversation the past year with all his AI stuff,
That's
man.
a whole nother
Whole other
That's a
conversation. Been a
that's a
been a weird
sheet.
conversation for a minute, but no, Timbaland, he's also one of those well-rounded producers that can give you shit for the bars and shit for shit for the club, shit for the streets, shit for the car. Like he's
Facts.
well-rounded like that too. But yeah, so those are my answers.
Okay, Swizz Beats would be fire, of course, and Pharrell would obviously be fire. You worked with Pharrell in the past, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So bringing that full circle, I think, would be super tight. But you talked about the producers. What about a dream collaboration on the rap side? Is there anybody that you feel like, yo, I haven't called them yet. I would love to just get them on this next project, whether it's the Manny Fresh or a Sir Michael Rock solo joint. Is anybody out there you thinking about?
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, there's a couple, man. I really think I really want to get up with Babyface Ray for sure.
Hell yeah.
Feel like he got a lot of similarities that we could do some cool shit, man. And to me, it's not even just about like, oh, make the biggest hit song of all hot hits and
Mm-hmm.
make a Billboard smash. Like I'm thinking the song chemistry and like the image and like the whole package of it. And I
Right.
think that's somebody that I definitely would I think we could do some crazy shit, man. Him for sure. Um I definitely want to get up with I think I can do some crazy shit with West Side Gun.
Whoa. That would
I
be
think we could
fire.
do wild shit, man. I love his curation. I love
Yeah.
his, his ability to pick beats and aesthetics and like,
I was gonna say he's somebody else who also kind of like branches outside of like I'm not just a rapper. I'm gonna bring you into the world of wrestling, and I'm gonna bring some personality to it outside of like your classic rapper. Ah,
yeah, exactly, man. Like Gun, I like his mind. I like the way his mind work, man. Yeah, I think we could kill some shit, man. I think
for
that would
sure.
be between him and Babyface Ray. Yeah, I think I would be able to make something happen there. You
I
know.
think so. That's tough. Okay, I like that.
Hmm.
Now, just to touch on one more thing about other rappers, you were in, All City Chess Club. I'm sure you
Hmm.
don't get asked about that a whole lot, but that was Lupe, Pharrell, J. Cole, Wale, Asher Roth, the Cool
Yeah.
Kids, of course, Mickey Fax, Blue, Diggy Simmons.
Let me tell you, bro. Like, I'm gonna let you
Talk to
finish, but I'm gonna tell you something too. But I'm gonna let
Nah,
you
go ahead.
finish
Go ahead.
first.
Well, okay. So the question is, which of them cats have you talked to most recently? And then you can
Oh,
tell me
okay.
what you gotta tell me. I
Okay.
wasn't gonna go crazy with it.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Is J. Cole, I would say probably Lupe. I think that's
That
probably the
makes
last
sense.
one I've spoken to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's probably Lupe, last one I've spoken to. I think we were in it was a
Was it
video game
Japan?
tournament. No, it was a video game tournament actually.
Okay.
It was in like St. Charles, Illinois, like a couple years
Okay.
ago. Shit, man. And he's so funny for just like he just be places. I'm like, what are you doing here, man? He's like, man, I'm coming to the tournament, man. What the fuck you mean?
Was he competing? Was he actually like picking up the sticks?
Yeah, he was picking up
Oh
the
shit!
sticks. He's good as fuck at Street Fighter for sure. He's
Really?
super sweet
Makes
at Street
sense.
Fighter. I beat him at Tekken though. He can't hang with me on the Tekken.
Talk your
Cannot hang
shit.
on the Tekken at all, man. But like the Street Fighter, he got that. He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the last dude I talked to at an All City Chess Club for sure. Um, and what I was going to say before you even
Yeah.
started too, I was like, bro, like looking back, that was never gonna work. That was
No.
never, ever, ever going
Y'all were
to
like a
work.
K-pop rap group.
It wasn't even like a mix of like a bad vibe or anything. It was
Mhm.
just too many people with too many different ideas and too many different lives and paths. And
For
like,
sure.
it was just a good idea, but there was no fucking way. Cause like, I think of like the Manny Fresh album that we did with just us and Manny Fresh, just a
Yeah.
producer and us. The logistics to line that shit up is super technical and it's not
Oh, I
easy.
bet.
It's difficult, and that's just two groups. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Doing a
Right.
thing to like get 13 different rappers in a group and line things up and have it be like on brand and make sense and
Yeah.
timely and shit. It was impossible from the get go. It was a good idea, but that was never gonna goddamn work, man. I don't even make that mistake no more and try to start super groups no more. I'm like, man, that
It's
shit,
over for that.
it just don't work that way, man. I think Currency and Larry June, they just dropped their collab album with Alchemy
Yeah.
stuff, and people are talking about how hard that was to make that happen, and it's just
Right.
three of them. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
hard to like link up their schedules and link up their recording process and like you know, get the beats sent on time and everybody likes the same beats and all that shit. It's like it's impossible to do that shit,
Right.
bro. But All City Chess Club was a great idea. I would love to try to do a condensed version, maybe less members of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, like Charles Hamilton and shit. It's all type
What
of people, bro. It was Blue was in there. Everybody was in
Blue
that
Diggy
motherfucker.
Simmons was in there?
J.
Like,
Cole, Wale, J. Cole, Lupe, Pharrell was in it.
yeah. Yo,
What the
what
fuck
if
was
you just
that
okay?
name?
So bet. So we have the outlaws. So what if you just call like J Cole, Wale, Pharrell, Lupe, Cool Kids? That's only five. Y'all can get that
That's only
done.
five, and that's impossible. That would be impossible, bro. It's already possible. Like just Pharrell alone, that's already hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's tough, man, to get big groups of rappers and stuff to do it like that. You got to get them all in one space and lock them there for like a month, and then make it happen in that one time. Like you can't let them leave and go home and go their separate ways.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's gonna get fucking jumbled, and they're not gonna focus on it again, and they're not gonna be able to like tap back in that same way.
and the
But
energy. Yeah.
if you lock them all on a deserted island for a month, and it's no way to get off the island until y'all finish the album, then that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to like lock them in. But if everybody allowed to get up and go home or go to their girl house or go somewhere else, then
Yeah,
it's too
it's
many.
over.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all in the comments, y'all see our tribe, man. Everybody's talking about, yeah, what happened to All City Chess Club? I tried to make a
That's the
reunion
truth.
happen, man.
That's the
But
truth, man. That's the
somebody
truth.
did ask a good question, so it's kind of like piggyback on that a little bit. What about working alongside Pac Div? Because I know
Oh
back in the
yeah.
day, y'all got a lot of comparisons for being kind of in the same lane and doing some of the same things. Obviously, both super talented, and I know that y'all had some synergy and rock with each other. And you recently did a show with them, I believe, you and Chuck with Pac Div. Is that something that you think could happen in the future? Maybe you doing a song with them, a project, a tour, anything like that?
So it's funny you say that, man, because we were, doing that show with them on our last tour, at the end of 2025.
Hmm.
We sold it out. Show was sold out. Excellent crowd.
Hmm.
Just a vibe, man. Like crazy vibe, and we've always had that vibe with them. Those are like our real deal brothers in this shit, man.
Fire.
That's also one of my favorite rap groups, like hands down. I put them up there with like the greats and the
For sure.
greats, bro.
For
Like
sure. For sure.
they're excellent performers. Their chemistry is crazy. Everybody has their role and their position that they play well. Great beat pickers. Everybody in the group funny as hell, and all just real dudes, man. And we've been super tight with them since the beginning of this, like '07. We put together a group actually called Starting Five, which is
Oh,
Cool Kids and Pac Div.
fire.
And when we do songs together, we go under that moniker pretty much. It's Starting Five.
That's tight.
And this past time in LA when we were hanging out with them, we talked about reviving the Starting Five and adding one more member.
Okay, you're gonna have the
in,
sixth
in,
man or
in the
woman?
name of Don Cannon,
Oh,
as
yeah.
our additional producer on there, and that will be called First Team All State. Is that when you add Don Cannon into the Starting Five as First Team All State?
Let's go.
So yeah, and as you can see, like we back tapped in with Cannon real tight.
Yeah.
Cannon is just another one of them dudes that's just like, I don't know, like he doesn't have to do the things that he does, as far as for other people. And
Seems
like,
very genuine. Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't have to do the things that he does for other people, but he really enjoys it, and he really enjoys working and doing this shit, and making, good projects and good music, man. And we've talked about like taking our relationship a little deeper, another level deeper, man, because we've been friends and have survived all this time. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we all have a mutual respect for each other's talents and skills, man, on a big level. So I think we're about to, really start working a little bit more closely. And, since Gone Fishing has come out, like obviously all of our, lives have changed, and we've all evolved in crazy ways. And like Cannon is, responsible for like Jack Harlow and
Yeah.
Lil Uzi Vert and shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for real, for real. So the amount of like outreach and the amount of reach and resources that he has now is way different than what it was in old time. You know what I'm saying? So we've been talking about, clicking up and working on some deeper levels now. And of course, the first team all state idea was something that we've been throwing around too. So I think you wouldn't be too far off base to, suspect something coming out, within the next year or something. I think we'd be able to put together because we all been like, talking about this shit. So could be something in the works.
That's fire. Okay, I'm glad I jumped on that and asked because obviously that's gonna get people super excited. I can't promise y'all that it's gonna be a 19-person group, but I think 6 is enough for the fans. I think they should be happy with that.
Yeah, and then like it's groups too. It's not individual, 6 individual people. It's 3 in this group, 2 in this group. You know what I mean? So a lot easier to manage than 19 individual niggas just like trying to put an album together, man.
Okay, I like that. All right, so Mike, I've had you here for almost an hour, and I really appreciate your time. This is a huge day for the rap game, for the industry, for the cool kids for sure. So I really appreciate you taking the time. I got 3 more questions, and we could just do this like rapid style, just get it off. And I'm just curious to hear what you have to say. But the first one is, what's the craziest rumor that you ever heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor I ever heard about myself. Oh, crazy rumor I ever heard about myself is I have this child. And I I had this child, right? And I don't talk to the mother, and like
shame on you.
She's in Norway, bro. Like Norway, and I got this kid. I ain't seen him. I had him when I was 19, apparently.
Wow.
And like I was like, how come nobody ever told me about my child out here, then, man? And I was like, I think I went to Norway when I was 20. I wasn't even out there in 19. Man.
Wow.
I had to do the math, but I was like,
right. Hold on, the timeline.
Yeah,
actually, that doesn't make sense.
The timeline didn't add up, but yeah, just shit like that, man. Like you got a Norwegian baby out there that
I can't wait to hear their mixtape.
He got to be 14 by now. He got to be like 14 or 13 by now.
He could have been. Oh, I thought that he did say he brought his son. I was gonna say he could be the kid who brought the Black Mag to the show. That could be your son.
Yeah, damn near. He would have had to catch a flight from Norway, but yeah, I mean. Yeah, that's definitely a crazy one, man. Because I know I ain't got none. I know the first thing somebody gonna do if I slip up is call me like, I got your baby. Come get him. You got a kid. So yeah, I knew it wasn't mine, man. I knew I ain't.
That makes sense. Okay, so next question: what was it like getting shot by Daniel Kaluuya in Widows?
Man, dog, he is a psycho, man. That's my guy though, man. He always tells us whenever we get to London, hit him up and he'll cook dinner for us, man. He gonna cook some good African food and shit, man. He pull up to the crib, but he's a psycho. We're doing the filming. He like is doing like super 5D brain. I'm a super actor type shit. We're obviously scared and nervous because we ain't real actors, and this is our first time being in a movie and shit. So he's fucking with us the whole time, bro. It was hilarious, man. So the scene where he's like talking to us and like, yo, talk about your music again. He getting all in our face and shit. That's not in the script, bro. None of that is in the script. He was supposed to be back a little bit, sitting down, talking to us while we were standing up. He did all that, getting your face shit. He was like, yo, no, I want to get in their faces and do this. He's punching us in the stomach and shit during that part. Like, he is fucking with us, dog. He's like, so that part where he told Chuck to like, he was like, yo, do the music, man, beatbox.
Yeah.
Chuck was like, huh? He's like, you heard what I said? Boom. He hit him for real. He was like, wow, but Chuck was like, coughed up a little bit and shit. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
What do we get into?
Bro? Here we get into this shit, man. So, punching him in his stomach. We doing the rap, man. The actual gunshot part is, obviously we did our own stunt for that. We did our own stunts. That wasn't a staged event. There was no stunt man. They laid down a thin ass little cushion thing on the ground behind us, off camera, out of the frame, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So we shot that take about 12 times, bro. So I'm doing the fall over, get shot, fall over, get shot, falling down on this mat like 12 times, bro. By the time I got up, I'm sore as hell, bro. Like everybody's sore as hell from just getting shot, falling down and getting back up. Cut, do it again, cut, do it again, cut, do it again. It shit was fun though, man. It was no other experience like that though, man. Being on a real movie set with like, Steve McQueen,
Yeah,
award winning
legend.
director and award
Yeah,
winning producers and shit. Like just being involved in that workflow and seeing how that all kind of unfolds and
hmm
seeing how these guys work, that was super inspiring, man. Like I'll never forget the things that I learned from being on set. They made me into a better performer, and I took a lot away from that, man. And yeah, shout out Dan Kalua for not, putting the training wheels on us. He threw us right into the fire, and it made the scene better. It made the performance better, man. I read online sometimes about that movie, and that's always one of the most critically acclaimed scenes of that
it
movie. They're
is.
like,
Yeah,
yo, that scene is probably one of the best ones in the entire movie, man. And Daniel Kaluuya, he really pulled the best out of us by just like not trying to babysit us and treat us like little new kid actors or something. He's like, no, you
right.
in the fucking movie, act, nigga. Like, let's go,
Yeah.
give me what I need. And he did that, and that really helped us to give our best performance, man. And I took a lot away from that.
That's super tight. Okay, that was great. I was curious. I've always been curious about
Yeah,
that scene because I
that
didn't
was
know y'all in
crazy.
the. I didn't know you were in the movie when I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, that's Mike and Chuck." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. My nieces, they went and seen it with my sister, and they were like, probably like 10, 11, something like
Yeah,
that. They
yeah.
went and seen it, and then I got shot. They were like, they thought I died for real. I was
They
like,
call you after, like,
no.
answer the phone.
Yeah, my sister was like, no, he's all good. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's all good. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. He's okay. They had to
That's
call me
hilarious.
after the movie, and she was like, man, I just wanted to make sure you was all right, man. I was like, no, I'm good, man. It's just a
I'm all
movie.
right. I'm all right.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
That's
that's
funny.
a great experience, man. Great
Dope,
experience.
dope, dope. Okay, so and then the last question I have for you, a little more philosophical. You could go whatever direction you want with it, but you're half the cool kids. Being cool has obviously been part of your persona, been part of what has drawn people to you as a performer, as a rapper. I'm curious, what's the coolest thing that's happened in your life because of rap, because of being in the cool kids? Like, what's the coolest experience that you've had, or the coolest takeaway that you've had from being part of the cool kids?
Wow, yeah, that's a good one, man. I would say the main thing that I've been able to take away from this is like this career and this lifestyle has given me the ability to create and live kind of my own schedule. You know,
Mm,
I was able to, after like, you got elementary school, high school, little college, and all that, where everything is super like hour by hour. You're in school, you get out of school, you go to bed, you wake up, you do this, you do that, you wake up, go to bed, wake up, go to school. Yeah, and it was like that for like a large part of my life, man. And then once, the cool kids started, I was able to kind of dictate my own time a little bit more, and I saw what I like to spend my time doing, and I saw the
mm,
things that I saw the things that I could get lost in for hours, and the things that were important to me. And I think that I wouldn't have been able to find those parts of myself without being in this field and being, a cool kid and being a musician, man, because those restrictions, that life puts on all of us, and that structure that life puts on all of us because of, you got to make money, you got to go to work, got to go to school, got kids, you got family, you got all that shit. Like, it's hard for a lot of people to find out those parts of themselves, because you just don't have time. Like,
it's
there's
true.
not a lot of time, man. Like, I talked to my own father and stuff, man, and he told me one time, a couple years ago, it was like, man, dude, like I really love that you were able to, you know, live off of your art and be able to create for a living, man, because he was telling me, he's like, I never really had a chance to do that. And, you know, as your dad, like, you see me one way, I go to work and, I have to take care of you. And I was, your protector and in charge of that shit. But like, I'm a creative person too. Like, I like to draw growing up. I was a good artist. And like, he was just telling me things about himself that I never really knew. He was like, yo, like, I
Wow.
was good at drawing, and like, we had a like art club and all of these things and
It's
stuff.
tight.
But like, he was like, I just wasn't able to like fully chase those dreams, you know, because life happened. I had you, I had kids, and then, work, and shit changed, man. So I would have to say, being a musician and being a cool kid, it gave me the opportunity to like really find out about myself and find out like what's important to me, man. And I wouldn't have been able to do that, had I, taken a different pathway. So I'm always grateful that, if for nothing else, music has given me the opportunity, to learn myself and to get in tune with what is important to me and what gets my gears turning, man. So yeah, I would have to say that's probably the most important.
That's a great answer. Wow. Okay. Knock that out of the park.
Sure, man.
Hey, so again, Sir Michael Rocks, I really appreciate your time. Again, thank you. The new
Always.
project, which is an old project, if you was on it when it first dropped, you souped as hell. You super happy. If you haven't heard it yet, you about to hear some life-changing music. Like, this joint is
Can't
futuristic
wait
as
for
hell.
people to hear it for the first time, man. I hope somebody hear it for the first time, man.
I'm jealous of those people, honestly, because it's crazy. It sounds so good, too. I was listening to it this morning. I was driving back from New York City, and I was like, man, this is
bro. It's
fire.
bro. Like, the energy on that is just, it's unmatched, man. Like, we had a great time making that shit. We had a great time producing it. The energy was real. The friendships were real.
Mm-hmm.
We were inspired. The time was, it was a different time period, but it was like a renaissance in a sense, like the 09, 08, 07, like those years were very formative, man. So yeah, anybody getting to hear it for the first time, I envy you, and I hope you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. Again, thanks to Sir Michael Rocks. Thanks to everybody that pulled up and joined it. Go bump Hot Top Fade for sure also.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Make sure you tap in with all the cool kids stuff, man. They
I got
crushing
new
it.
solo shit coming
Yeah,
real
oh yeah,
soon.
yeah.
All
Talk
the heads
about it.
out
What's up
there,
with
man.
that?
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, man. That's gonna be the name of the project.
Fire.
It's a good one, bro. Like, I think people are gonna be surprised a little bit by this one.
Okay.
I'm taking an angle on here that I haven't really taken before, and I'm excited to get this out into the world, because it's really me. It feels good, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that I've been working on for a while. I got my boy, Andrew Barber behind it, and
Right. Shout out to Andrew Barber.
he's always been a dude in my corner that's been, ready for whatever, man. So shout out Andrew, man, helping me
Big
push.
Short Drive.
We got some crazy features on there. I got Bruiser. Shout out Bruiser Wolf, man, from Detroit.
Bruiser.
Big
Crazy.
Bruiser. The homie Valet, Valet Chicago.
Nice. That's
Man.
crazy.
Got some other ones I'm gonna keep on the tuck, man. Just stay tuned though. But Rock Paper Scissors is the name of it. Should be expecting that in the next month or so, man. It's
That's
already finished and shit. I had to take a couple songs off and replace them with a couple things. So, beyond that, we're all done and we're ready to go.
okay. Are you doing physicals for that also? Because I
Yeah.
got the bundle you did with Hot Top Fade. So you
Oh,
have like vinyl and CDs and the whole nine?
Vinyl CDs and the merch too. This is actually a
Oh
shirt.
no.
It's actually a shirt that I made for it, man.
What?
The album's Rocks, Paper, Scissors Choices, man. So this is the choices right here, man. It's
It
all puff print, cool shit. I got
look good, yeah. That's high
just
quality.
a gang of stuff, man. We'll have the vinyls, we got the shirts and the designs all ready for y'all. It's gonna be a good time, man.
I can't wait. That's fire. All right, bro. Thank you again. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let you get back to do your thing, promote the album. But yeah, again, it's fire. If y'all haven't heard it, check it out. Sir Michael Rocks, y'all.
Thanks for having me, bro.
You already know. Peace, man. We'll talk.
Peace out.